Did you know that some dates on the calendar hide secrets that go beyond what we imagine? February 2nd, for example. For many, it is just another ordinary day, but for others it is a warning, a milestone, something so profound and enigmatic that it connects to an ancient prophecy known as the 3 days of darkness. And here is the question that no one likes to face. What would you do if suddenly everything around you was taken over by total darkness? But wait, before you go, I need to ask you something. Do you believe in signs, in messages that appear to warn us, prepare us, or even challenge us? Because deep down this video is not just about what might happen on February 2nd. It is about something much bigger, something that concerns me, you, and the way we deal with the most difficult moments of life. Now I know you must be thinking, this really matters to me. Why should I care about something like this? And I understand. Sometimes these stories seem distant, almost unreal. But if you give me the chance to show you what is behind this prophecy, I guarantee that you will leave here with something much greater than answers. You will leave with reflections that can transform your way of life, face challenges, and that alone is worth your time, don't you think? I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm here to share something that intrigued me and that can help you see the world with different eyes. So do it like this. Take a moment for yourself, adjust the volume, and come with me on this journey. And I'll tell you in advance, if you make it to the end, I promise you won't regret it. In the next few minutes, let's explore together a story full of mystery, alert, and lessons that directly touch our essence. And believe me, understanding this message can be the key to overcoming the darkest moments in life. So, ready, let's get started. Have you ever stopped to think about how some stories carry more than just words? They bring with them enigmas, warnings, and sometimes truths that we are not ready to hear. This is exactly what makes the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness so intriguing. It is not just a prediction of apocalyptic events. It is a message that speaks directly to our doubts, fears, and inner strengths. The story begins with Marie Julie, a mystic who lived centuries ago, but whose visions still echo to this day. She spoke of a 3-day period where the world would be covered by absolute darkness. It would not be an ordinary night. It would be something different, something that no technology or human knowledge would be able to stop. Imagine a world where storms roar, lightning cuts through the sky incessantly, and the silence is so heavy that it seems to suffocate hope. And the most impressive thing is that this isn't just a metaphor. Many believe that this prophecy is a literal prediction of a future event, a combination of natural, spiritual, and perhaps even supernatural phenomena, something that goes beyond science or logic. But why does this story persist? What does it mean to us who live in a world where everything seems to be controlled by reason and progress? Perhaps the answer lies in something we have all felt, the darkness within ourselves. Because deep down it is not just a physical event. It is about how we face the moments when all seems lost, those periods when our lives seem directionless, where the storms are our own fears and the shadows reflect our insecurities. And that's exactly where Marie Julie's message becomes so powerful. She talked about how in these days of complete darkness, only those who keep the faith will find safety. And here we are not speaking of faith in the strictly religious sense. We are talking about believing in one's own light, in the ability to resist and to find a way even when everything seems to conspire against you. Marie Julie left us clues, and each one of them is a reminder that to face the darkness, we must first light the flame within us. Throughout this video, you will discover more about these hidden messages and how they can transform your perception about life. Let's explore what it means to live in a world full of uncertainty and how this story can help us find strength in times of crisis. As we continue on this journey, I want you to think about something. What would you do if you were in the middle of this darkness? Would you be able to face the storms, or would you let fear take over? The answer is closer than you think, and maybe by the end of this story, you will be more prepared than ever to face your problems. Let's continue. Marie Julie, the mystic behind these revelations, left us a detailed account of the 3 days of darkness. But what is really behind this message? Is it that we are facing a warning to humanity, or a powerful metaphor about the challenges we face? According to prophecy, these 3 days would mark a breaking point, a time when the world as we know it would be enveloped by such intense darkness that no artificial light could dispel it, and an overwhelming feeling of helplessness would take over everything. For many, it would be a true apocalypse. But there is something deeper in this vision. These 3 days do not represent only destruction or chaos. They also talk about the need for introspection, to seek within ourselves the strength to overcome adversity. Marie Julie warned not to open the windows during these days. And why is this so significant? Because these windows are not just physical structures. They symbolize the boundaries we put up to protect our mind and soul from negative influences. Think about it. In an information-saturated world where we are constantly bombarded with bad news and conflicts, opening the windows can mean exposing yourself to the worst of what there is. During the 3 days of darkness, these external influences could amplify our fears and vulnerabilities, making us easy prey for despair. The message is therefore clear. Close your windows, protect yourself, focus on what is essential to your path from today. But the prophecy goes further. It talks about the importance of being prepared not only to face external cataclysms, but also to deal with our own internal storms. During this period of darkness, the homes of those who keep the faith will become refuges of light and hope. The blessed candles mentioned in the visions are not just sacred objects. They are representations of our resilience, the strength we carry within us and that can guide us even in the darkest moments. Now imagine the impact of this message in a world where so many people face personal crises, doubts, and fears. This prophecy becomes more than an ancient story. It is an invitation to reflect on how we deal with difficulties and how we can find light even in the greatest darkness. It is about recognizing that despite the storms there is always a flame within us that can be lit, and that once lit can illuminate not only our journey, but also those around us. In the coming moments, you will discover how this prophecy challenges us to act and prepare for difficult times. Whether facing global events or personal crises, the lessons of the 3 days of darkness have something to teach us all. So let's go and unravel what else this vision has to offer us. Now that we understand the central meaning of the prophecy, it is time to delve deeper into the more impressive and unsettling scenario, the 3 days of darkness itself. What makes this vision so powerful is not just what it predicts, but how it makes us feel. Imagine a world where everything around you is taken over by the total absence of light, where storms roar like never before, and each lightning bolt seems like a scream in the oppressive silence. There is no refuge, there is no way to escape. All that is left is to face this image. It's more than a disaster forecast, it's a mirror. It reflects the moments in our lives when we are consumed by doubt, fear, and the feeling that everything is out of control. The darkness here is both external and internal. It's that suffocating feeling that many of us have experienced when it seems like things can't get any worse, and then they do. In Marie Jules's view, those 3 days would be marked by terrifying phenomena: storms never seen before, lightning that would cut through the skies incessantly, a silence that would not be peaceful but unsettling, as if the earth itself were holding its breath. The world would be tested in a way it had never been before, and to survive it would take more than just physical endurance. It would take faith, not just faith in something greater, but in oneself, in the ability to resist and overcome the unknown. During these days, the only light allowed would be that of the blessed candles. Think about the symbolism of this. The light of these candles is not just physical, it is spiritual. It represents the small but powerful flame that each of us carries within, that spark of hope that must never go out, no matter how dark the world becomes. The message is clear: in the darkest moments, we are forced to look within and find our own strength. But this journey into darkness is not just about resistance, it is about transformation. Just as silence forces someone to listen to their own thoughts, darkness forces each person to face their own fears. It is in these moments that we are challenged to grow. They teach us that the greatest tests of life do not come to destroy us, but to mold us, to make us stronger and more aware of our own inner light. And here is something to ponder. What would you do if you were immersed in this darkness? Would you be able to keep your flame burning, or would you allow despair to extinguish it? That is the true test of the 3 days. It is not just about surviving physically, but about getting through the emotional and spiritual storm that it represents. When imagining this scenario, think about how it connects with the challenges you face now. Every storm in your life is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than you imagine, and just like the candles light up homes in the prophecy, your inner strength can brighten even the most difficult days. In the coming moments, let's explore the practical lessons this vision has and how it can prepare us to overcome any adversity, whether literal or symbolic. Darkness is not the end, it is just the beginning of the transformation. Let's go forward. In the midst of total darkness, a symbol appears as the protagonist, the flame of the blessed candles. According to the prophecy, this would be the only light capable of piercing the darkness during the 3 days of darkness. But more than a physical light, these candles carry a deep meaning. They represent the inner flame of each of us. Our faith, hope, and ability to resist when everything around us seems to crumble. Think about the powerful symbolism behind it. In times of crisis, the external darkness often reflects our internal struggles. The fears, the doubts, and despair become shadows that threaten to erase the little hope we still carry. That is exactly where the message of the candles enters the scene. Even in the worst-case scenario, the light can still shine. This flame symbolizes the strength we carry within us, that ability to resist and persist no matter how impossible it seems. Marie-Julie described this light as sacred, protected by something greater. And here is the beauty of this vision. We all have the power to nurture our own light. Just as candles need to be tended to so they don't go out, our inner strengths need to be protected against the winds of adversity. What are we willing to do to keep our flame burning even when the winds blow stronger? But here is an important point. The prophecy warns us that this flame cannot be lit by just anyone or anywhere. Only those who believe, trust, and prepare themselves will be able to preserve the light. In practical terms, this is a call to action. Strengthen our faith, our resilience, and our ability to protect ourselves from negative influences that try to erase our inner strength. This means creating a safe physical and emotional space where our flame can shine uninterrupted. And don't think that this only applies to apocalyptic events. We all face our own 3 days of darkness, that period when it seems like nothing makes sense, that the problems are bigger than we can endure. In these times, the lesson of the candle becomes clear. The only thing that matters is to protect the flame, even if it is small, even if it is shaking. It is enough to guide us along the way. This message is a reminder that the strength we need is not out there. It is inside us, waiting to be activated. And what activates this force is confidence, preparation, and the belief that we are capable of overcoming anything. No matter how strong the storm is, no matter how dense the darkness is, our inner light is more powerful than any shadow. Now I ask you, what have you done to protect your flame? What are the candles in your life, the symbols that represent your strength and faith? Think about this as we move on to the next point, where we will explore the vulnerabilities that surround us and how we can protect ourselves from them. Let's go together because the journey is not over yet, and there is much more light to be discovered. While the candles represent the light we need to protect, there is another crucial element in the prophecy that teaches us something profound about resilience: the windows. Marie-Julie warned that during the 3 days of darkness, no one should open the windows of their homes. This simple instruction carries a powerful symbolism that goes beyond the physical. These windows are a reflection of the barriers we need to create to protect ourselves from the forces that can invade our lives and weaken our inner light. Imagine windows as a connection between what is outside and what is inside. Opening these windows, especially in times of crisis, is the equivalent of allowing influences to enter our lives. often negative things come in and disturb our emotional and mental balance. The chaotic news, the endless conflicts, the toxic relationships, all of these are storms that come in through our windows and have the power to extinguish the flame that we fight so hard to keep burning. Now think about your own life. How many times have you exposed yourself to what you shouldn't have? How many times have you let the problems of the world or even of others invade your space, draining your energy and shaking your peace? The message here is clear. It is essential to know when to close these windows. It is not about ignoring what happens out there, but to recognize that not everything deserves your attention or your energy. Closing the windows is an act of self-care, a way of preserving your essence in times of storm. But an important detail is not just about closing the windows. It is about what happens inside the space you protect, because you are welcome to have a chaotic environment. Strength needed to illuminate your journey. This takes us to a crucial point of the prophecy: protecting what comes into your life and taking care of what is already within it. It is about creating healthy boundaries and learning to say no to what does not add up. It is also about cultivating positive thoughts, relationships that strengthen you, and moments of silence that feed your soul. It is about finding a balance between protecting yourself from the world and nourishing yourself with all that is good in it. The prophecy challenges us to be selective. Not everything that knocks on our window deserves to be invited to enter. In a world where we are constantly bombarded by information, opinions, and demands, this lesson has never been more relevant. Closing the windows is not an act of weakness, it is an act of strength. It is a conscious decision to prioritize your inner light above all else. So, as we move forward, exploring the depths of this message, I invite you to reflect on what are the windows of your life that you need to close. What are the external influences that are draining your energy and threatening to extinguish your flame? Remember, protecting your light is not selfishness, it is survival. In the next few moments, we will talk about how these lessons can be transformed into practical actions to prepare us for the challenges that we face both outside and inside of us. Stay with me because we are just beginning to unlock the true power of this message. So far, we have explored the importance of protecting our inner light and closing the windows to what can weaken us. But no transformation happens without action. The prophecy of the 3 days of darkness is not just a warning, it is a call to prepare for change and to strengthen. It challenges us to be active rather than passive in the face of adversity, both those that come from outside and those that arise within us. The first lesson of this call is to be prepared, not only in the physical sense, such as blessed candles and a safe environment, but mainly in the emotional and spiritual sense. What have you done to strengthen your mind and spirit? What are the practices that you adopt to stay balanced even when chaos seems to dominate the world? The prophecy reminds us that in times of darkness, preparation is not optional, it is essential. Now think about what being prepared means in your life. Maybe it's learning to set clearer boundaries, strengthening your beliefs, or taking time to connect with yourself. It could be something as simple as meditating for a few minutes a day, or something more profound like coming to terms with a part of yourself that was left behind. Whatever the path, the important thing is to act. Preparation is not just an idea, it is an ongoing process. The second point of the call to action is to feed your flame. This means identifying what gives you energy and purpose, what inspires you, who are the people who strengthen you, what are the activities that renew your strength and help you face difficult days. Feeding your flame is more than a symbolic act. It is a daily practice that ensures that you are ready to face storms, whether external or internal. And last but not least, the prophecy asks us to share our light. During the 3 days of darkness, those who keep their candles lit will not only illuminate their own homes, but will also offer hope to those around them. This message is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest moments, we have the power to positively impact other people. Now think about how you can use your light to help others, be it with a simple gesture of kindness, with words that bring comfort, be it offering your support in difficult times, or inspiring someone with your example of resilience. The question is not how much light you have, but what you do with it. The intention is clear: small lights, when united, can transform the densest darkness. It has come time to act, not just listen to the message, but integrate it into your life. The prophecy reminds us that preparation, inner strengthening, and mutual support are the pillars to face any challenge. And most importantly, it shows us that we are capable of transforming even the most difficult moments into growth opportunities. When hearing about the 3 days of darkness, it is easy to imagine this as something distant, an event that may never happen, but in fact, the essence of this prophecy is deeply connected to what we face in the world today. Just look around: global crises, economic uncertainties, social divisions, and a growing sense that we are living in difficult times. The darkness is, in some ways, already here. The question is how we are dealing with it. What makes this message so timely is that it is not just a vision of a possible future event. It is an invitation to reflect on how we face daily challenges. We have all, at some point, experienced our own dark days, whether it was a loss, a financial crisis, a moment of deep doubt, or even the feeling of being disconnected from the world and from oneself. The prophecy reminds us that in these moments, preparation and resilience are key. Look at what is happening in the world right now: news from disasters to conflicts to climate change, and the growing sense of instability. All of this contributes to a kind of collective darkness where people feel lost, anxious, and often powerless. But it is exactly in these moments that Marie Julie's message becomes most relevant. We need to take care of our inner light. We need to protect what keeps us strong as the world around us faces storms. And how can we do this? The first thing is to stop looking only at the chaos outside and start strengthening our inner world. This means creating moments of silence to reflect, prioritizing what brings us peace, and eliminating what drains our energy. It means building a solid foundation, whether spiritual, emotional, or mental, so that we can face adversity with more strength and clarity. Furthermore, The prophecy calls us to something that the modern world often ignores: unity. In today's world, where individualism seems to reign, we need to remember that no one goes through the darkness alone. We need each other. Just like the blessed candles light up an entire home, our positive actions can and do support those around us. Even a small gesture of solidarity can be enough to rekindle hope in someone who is about to give up. Ultimately, the prophecy also challenges us to look at the signs around us. It's not about fearing the future, but being aware of the present. Darkness never arrives suddenly. It approaches little by little, showing signs that many prefer to ignore. Recognizing these signs and acting in time is the difference between being consumed by chaos or finding a way through it. So stop for a moment and reflect. What have you done to face the darkness of the present? How have you taken care of your light and the people around you? Marie Jules's message is not just a warning, it is an opportunity, a chance to prepare yourself, to grow, and to connect with something greater than ourselves. We have reached a crucial point in this journey. So far, we have explored the mysteries of the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness and its connection to our daily challenges. But at this point, it is important to stop and reinforce the central message that all of this carries. The real battle is not against the darkness outside, but against what it awakens within us. And the key to overcoming it is in preparation, in resilience, and in our ability to hold the light regardless of the circumstances. Darkness can take many forms. For some, it is fear of the future. For others, it is difficulties that seem to have no solution. There are those who face painful losses, while others struggle with the feeling of emptiness. Whatever form it takes, what unites us is the need to resist, and this resistance begins with a decision to protect what we have most precious: our inner light. Think about the symbolism of the blessed candles mentioned in the prophecy. They are not just religious objects, but tangible representations of something we all carry: the ability to shine even in the midst of chaos. The flame of each candle is like a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is something inside us that can light the way. But that flame needs to be cared for. She cannot resist alone. It depends on us to feed and protect her. Another fundamental point of the prophecy is the act of closing the windows. This is not just an instruction for physical events. It is a teaching about the importance of establishing limits. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded by information, opinions, and conflicts. If we don't learn to protect our emotional and mental space, we will end up letting that external darkness consume us. Knowing when to say no and prioritizing our peace is essential to maintaining our strength. More than that, the prophecy calls us to collective action. No one goes through the days of darkness alone. Just as candles illuminate not only those who carry them, but the entire environment around, our inner light has the power to influence others. In times of crisis, small acts of kindness, compassion, and solidarity can make all the difference. Never underestimate the impact of a supportive word or a simple gesture. They can be the light someone needs to find strength. And here is the main point. The true essence of this prophecy is not in the fear of the unknown, but in the transformation it can bring. It challenges us to face storms not as enemies, but as opportunities for growth. Each moment of darkness is a chance to prove to ourselves that we are stronger than we imagine. It is an opportunity to discover that even when the world seems to collapse, there is something inside us that remains unshakable. Now it is your turn to reflect on what this journey so far has awakened in you. What parts of the message resonated with the challenges you face today? The light we seek has never been far away. It has always been within us, hoping we would have the courage to light it. We have reached the end of this journey, but at the same time, we are just beginning. Now you know the essence of the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness: a warning, a call, and above all, an opportunity. We are not here just to fear what may come, but to prepare ourselves to face it and come out stronger, more enlightened, more connected with our own essence. The main message that this prophecy leaves us is clear: in the darkest moments, our strength lies in protecting the light within us. No matter how intense the storms are or how much the world around us seems to be falling apart, there will always be something we can do, and that something begins with the decision to resist, close the windows to the external chaos, feed the flame of hope, and go forth with purpose. These are steps that any of us can take from now on. But now I want to speak directly to you, yes, you who followed every word of this story. What are you going to do with what you learned here? How are you going to apply these lessons to your life? Darkness does not have to be literal to be real, and we all face moments that test our faith, our resilience, and our ability to move forward. The most important thing is to remember that the solution is never outside, it has always been inside you. And here is the big question: what inspires you to continue even on the hardest days? What kind of light do you want to carry with you? The answer to that is not just for you. It is also for those around you, because just like in the prophecy, the light you carry can illuminate other paths. It can bring hope to those who need it, and can transform even the darkest scenarios. As we close this video, I want to leave you with a challenge: to reflect on your own light. Identify what strengthens you, what inspires you, and commit to taking care of it every day. What we are building here is not just a moment of reflection. It is a movement, a transformation that begins within each one of us and spreads throughout the world. And before I go, I want to invite you to share this message. Someone you know may be facing darkness right now, and your words, your presence, or even this video may be the light that person needs. Don't underestimate the power you have to make a difference. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You've done more than just listen to a story, you've taken a step towards transformation. And remember, darkness can seem powerful, but light, even the smallest of them, is always stronger. Let's continue illuminating the world one step at a time. Thank you for accompanying me on this journey, and remember, you are the flame that the world needs. Until next time.